This video will contain spoilers for Blue-Eyed Samurai. You've been warned. This is Bottom of the Barrel, a series where I talk about shows, movies, people, or things that in my opinion have reached the bottom of the barrel. And in this week, I'm going to talk about Blue-Eyed Samurai. Really? No, not you. I already talked enough about you in the last video. Damn, you want to be everywhere. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah. So like I was saying, Blue-Eyed Samurai, a show I have barely seen trailers on or people talk about even after it came out back in November, which is weird considering it's a Netflix original and feels like a show a lot of anime fans would enjoy. Seriously, I don't understand how people are not talking more about this show. I remember seeing one clip on TikTok about it around the time it came out, but quickly forgot about it until I went on Netflix earlier this month, something which I rarely do, and just so happened to see it because it had samurai in the title. But let me give you a quick rundown of what to expect and see if I can convince you to watch it. Action, we have that. Sets, there's plenty of that. Political power struggles, yep, that's also in there. Blue-eyed people invading countries, also have that. Dragons? Okay, we don't have that, but we do have a character that doesn't have hands. And I think it's cool. And you should too.
PK.
Now, I'm not going to say that the show isn't popular, because from the view count from other channels and the fact that the show was approved for a second season is very telling that it is. Again, it's just odd to me that for a show that has gained so much momentum, there are rarely any talks about it, from its fandom or even bigger creators, at least from the ones I follow. Also, I feel like there aren't that many people spreading the word about this show because it got overshadowed by Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, but let me give you a quick recap of the first episode so you can get a better idea about the show. The story takes place during the Edo period, a time when Japan experienced economic growth, continuous peace, a rise in the enjoyment of arts and culture, and the inevitable isolation from the world for over 250 years. But it is around this time period that our story begins. We are introduced to Misu, a cross-dressing swordswoman. She has daddy issues and wants revenge for reasons I will get onto later on, but for now, we see her making her way into a noodle shop, where we get introduced to our next important character, Ringo. He was born without hands. Despite this, it doesn't stop him from making the best soba.
Baki. Great soba, okay?
We're also introduced to our first minor antagonist, Hachiman the Flesh Trader, as he begins to threaten Ringo by pulling out a pistol. Misu puts herself in between both men as she realizes the gun is not of Japanese design, which interests her, and they have a small friendly chat as to where he got the gun. After this, she leaves to begin her search for Haiji Shindo, the man who sold the gun to Hachiman. Ringo also leaves and follows Misu because he believes she could train him to become a samurai. Since Ringo was born without hands, he had always been ridiculed and told that he couldn't accomplish his goals. Also, being born during this time with a disability essentially made him an outcast by Japanese society, much like Misu herself.
You're deformed.
We get some backstory into her childhood where we begin to see the way she was mistreated by other kids for being biracial, as not being fully Japanese during this time, and to some extent to this day, carries a negative stigma. The only person who was willing to accept her was a blind swordsmith of the village who trained her in the arts of blacksmithing. Coming back to the present time, we see that Misu has traveled to Kyoto looking for the Shindo dojo, and at this point we're introduced to another important character, Akemi, the daughter of the samurai lord Tokunobu Daichi. Quick things about her: she's smart, determined, straight to the point when it comes to doing things her way. Overall, rich girl with an attitude.
To torment me?
Misu finds the dojo and asks to meet the master because he's Haiji's brother, but she gets denied, and we get another backstory from her childhood, in which we learn more about her. We learn that she taught herself how to fight with a sword by mimicking the moves of multiple swordsmen coming by to pick up new swords. We also learn the reason why she wants revenge, as she explains to the blacksmith,
"When everyone else knows as plain as my face, but you do not."
I know you're ugly.
She tells him the truth about how she's mixed, how there were 4 white men in Japan during the time she was born, and how she feels ashamed for not being fully Japanese, which is the reason why she has vowed to kill all of them, which the blacksmith responds,
Pure and impure. You may be something shameful. You may also be strong.
From here, we get the best moment from the first episode. Seriously, the animators were cooking with this one, as we get this action-packed scene of Misu effortlessly beating the students from the dojo, while also trash-talking their technique.
The problem with Shindo Ryu is, it's trash.
The students and masters unable to beat her get help from their best student, and we get introduced to our last important character, Taigen. He was one of Misu's bullies, but he has risen through the ranks in the dojo where they have an intense fight where Misu ultimately beats him, and the dojo master finally makes an appearance to tell her where to find Haiji Shindo. With this information, she takes her leave, and we get a different scene with the dojo master speaking to his brother about the events that unfolded. But we also see a mysterious person telling them to send the 4 fangs after Misu. The first episode ends with Misu bathing in a river and fixing her wounds, as we get a flashback to the last time she interacted with the swordsmith. Just then Ringo shows up and we learn that she has been a woman disguising herself as a man.
Peaches.
Okay, just a quick thing, yes, it is not revealed to us that Misu is a woman until the end of the first episode, but if you're not able to tell by the voice, then I don't know what to tell you. And in case people are thinking, but some guys can have a high-pitched voice too. I mean, yeah, you're right, but even before you watch the show and just read the description on Netflix, they tell you that the story is about a warrior and her revenge. So let's be honest here, they didn't do a great job at hiding it. Now, I know there are people out there who are probably going to think, wow, another show about a female lead. This surely isn't pushing an agenda or anything. And even though it may seem that way from the first episode, the rest of the season is not like this. Yes, Misu's a strong warrior who can defeat a lot of her opponents easily, and may seem like she's got her shit together. But later down the season we begin to see her flaws. Sometimes she lets her emotions get the best of her. She's strong, but not unbeatable, often getting critically injured or needing help from others, even though she wants to tackle problems by herself. And even though we do get to see her warm up a bit to other characters, at the end of the day, her interest lies on fulfilling her goals. Ringo's my favorite. Even though he's there most of the time as a comic relief character, we still see that he's determined to achieve his dream of becoming a samurai, despite what he's told by everyone, including Misu.
My whole life has been a battle.
And throughout the show, we see him become even more resourceful and helpful. Taigen is a character who I thought I was going to hate throughout the season, because I thought his whole character was going to be about this prideful, annoying little guy following Misu around, trying to get his revenge. Thankfully, it didn't turn out this way. I mean, he's still prideful, but at least we see him receive some depth to his character, and have this respect for Misu and Ringo as the story continues. Kemi is another great character, and also another one of my favorites after Ringo, because she and Misu share some parallels, and we can see that in a later episode. They both get what they want despite using different methods, Misu using violence and Akemi using her charms. They both defy society's standards, Akemi wanting to be free to do things she wants, while Misu dresses as a guy to get revenge, as during this time revenge was seen as a luxury, reserved for men, giving her a lot more freedom to pursue her goal. And these are just a couple of examples. Overall, I think the story itself is your typical samurai revenge story. However, I like the fact that instead of getting revenge for the sake of honor, it's revenge for your self-interest. Misu's not the hero of this story, and she does the things that she does because she knows it will benefit her in the long run. The setting of the story is also great. The people working on the show did the research necessary to make it feel like 17th century Japan. Of course, it's not 100% accurate, they did take some liberties to express their creativity, but the setting is pretty faithful to the time, making references here and there, like the Great Fire of 1657 or when Akemi got married and had to do a haguro, which was a popular process of blackening the teeth, primarily done by married women of high status. Now, I know I haven't talked about him, but the final villain of this season is such a well-written villain. He's got such a cold and calculative approach to everything he does, and some of the things he says will make you ask yourself what he has seen to make him turn out this way. The guy feels like a real threat, and he helps that he's just an absolute unit that Misu struggles to fight on her own. Oh, and don't let me get started on the fight scenes. Again, the animators were cooking with this show, and it shouldn't be a surprise, considering how the director is a martial artist and wanted to show off some incredible fight scenes. And you know you're going to do so when you're getting your team into martial arts, and using live action stunt actors to create the cinematic scenes that are so well crafted it almost feels like you're watching a movie at times. Alright, now remember how I said this show might be something anime fans would enjoy? I still mean that. It is a recipe for something the new and old generation of anime fans, or anyone who grew up with a lot of Asian influence, would enjoy. The people working behind the series have stated that the show is influenced by Kill Bill. It has aspects of Mulan, and some anime watchers who have gotten into the show compare it to Samurai Champloo and Cowboy Bebop. Hell, we even see her taking her weights off, which reminded me of that time Lee did it. At the end of the day, I know this show isn't an anime, but at least give the first episode a chance. Seriously, the whole first episode is right here on YouTube. I know I'm straight up acting like a Final Fantasy XIV fan by giving something I enjoy free advertisement and not being able to shut up about it, and so I will make my final attempt. Misa's strong, tall mommy material who should be on everyone's list of fictional women who they want to marry. Ringo's best boy again because if he starts wielding a sword during the second season, he might as well become the next Sekiro. If he doesn't, I'm dropping the show. Taigen is basically General Shang. And Akemi might as well become the new staple character for Chainsaw Man fans because of how manipulative she is. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hey, thanks for making it to the end credits. First of all, I wanna tell you guys Happy New Year's. Second of all, this video was meant to be uploaded yesterday, or rather Saturday, but I just got busy with the holidays and my personal life. So yeah, I'm sorry. Second of all then, really overwhelming. I never expected that video to blow up. Yeah, I just felt really overwhelmed by, everything. But thank you. It was awesome of you guys to do that. And lastly, I want to try and upload weekly like I was doing. Hopefully I will, depending on what life throws at me. But if not, maybe bi-weekly. But again, hopefully weekly. But yeah, again, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, let me know. If you didn't, also let me know. Anything that you guys do will be appreciated. Again, thank you.